was just a couple of hours before the show, and I went on social media, I went on Twitter, and I said something along the lines of how excited I was for TakeOver WarGames. If the last two matches were any indication of the WarGames match that we're expecting and anticipating tonight, then we're all going to be in a very good mood at the end of the evening. I stated on social media that the one thing I was excited for in the women's match, well before it even started, was I want Io up top on the cage, and I want to see Io Shirai do her patented moonsault off the top of the WarGames cage. Now, we did get that by the end of the women's match, which opened the show. We did get it. And I'm thinking, well, that's the spot of the night. That's the spot of the night. Unless Keith Lee wants to go up there and give us a moonsault off the top of the cage, which I'm not going to tell a guy like Keith Lee he can't do anything. I would have loved to see that. But we didn't get Keith Lee off the top rope. Instead, we got Tommaso Ciampa delivering an air raid crash to Adam Cole through 2 tables down below. And I'm actually concerned if A, Ciampa's neck is okay, and B, if Adam Cole is still alive. So much so that the camera, clear as day, went right to Britt Baker in the crowd. Yes, AEW's Britt Baker in the crowd. Adam Cole's girlfriend. So much so that she was so concerned after what just happened to close this show. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't even know what to say in regards to the performance that went on with everybody tonight, especially in those 2 WarGames matches. It's amazing how, at the start of this thing, we are all thinking about how great this weekend of pro wrestling is going to be. Survivor Series got NXT involved, WarGames, TakeOver is always great. It's amazing just to think the talent in NXT, and their mentality. They know, first of all, they are the A-show, but they want to go out there and pretty much stamp that into everybody's mind. They are the A-show. They know they are the A-show. They want to go out there and prove that they're the A-show. And knowing that they're going to be in the Survivor Series just 24 hours the next day, competing at a high level against Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, it's amazing how everybody went into this show the way that they did, and they have to come out of it and go right back to work on Sunday and compete at yet another high level in the Survivor Series. If anybody deserves all the respect in the wrestling world this year, man, it's the TakeOver talent. It's the NXT talent that competed tonight on this pay-per-view. Unbelievable effort. Adam Cole, without question. I think we can pretty much stamp Adam Cole's name in the 2019 yearbook as being the MVP of WWE. I went on record and said, there's nobody really close to Matt Riddle in NXT that has delivered the body of work that he's done in the middle of that ring in 2019. I'm going to take back what I said about Matt Riddle. He's definitely in the conversation, but Adam Cole has to be the number 1 man on everybody's list at the end of the year when you talk about MVPs in 2019. This guy's body of work is absolutely unreal. The amount of work that he's done in this month alone is absolutely unreal. The amount of work that he's done since winning the NXT Championship is unreal. The amount of work that he will continue to do when he makes the main roster, if they don't fuck him up, it's going to be unreal. The risks that this guy takes. Everybody says, oh, Adam Cole's a vanilla midget. Oh, Adam Cole, everybody wants to compare him to Shawn Michaels, and they want to compare him to the greats in that type of status. And they don't see the greatness in Adam Cole. What do they see in Adam Cole? I don't know how you can't see it after this guy's body of work this year. And in this month alone, after tonight's performance alone, I don't know what else to say. Shout out to Adam Cole, man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable work. This was a pay-per-view that was 2.5 hours long. It flew by. It was crazy from start to finish. Everybody brought it. You know that they were going to bring it. I absolutely loved everything about this show. Everything about this show was fucking picture perfect. We're going to go over it all. I got detailed notes. I got a crazy heel turn to talk about. We got Dakota Kai just going full-blown possessed tonight in the opening match. 2 WarGames matches. Team Ripley versus Team Baszler. Rhea Ripley, Teagan Nox, Candice LeRae. Was supposed to be Mia Yim. She got taken out. She got replaced by Dakota Kai. We'll talk about that. They took on Team Baszler. Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and the United Kingdom champion, women's champion, Kaylee Ray. Men's WarGames match tonight was Team Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominik Dijakovic, and a partner that would be a mystery against the Undisputed Era, which you guys know, or should know, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. All of whom have matches tomorrow night at the Survivor Series. Now we got both heel teams in the WarGames match, which we'll talk about. Both heel teams, the men and the women. They got the WarGames advantage. Shirai and Cole, they won their ladder matches over the past couple weeks over Mia Yim and Dominik Dijakovic. Matt Riddle, he went one-on-one with Finn Balor. Tonight it was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. But Johnny Gargano is a day-to-day situation. Head injury, neck injury. He will be back sooner rather than later, according to Triple H at the recent TakeOver conference call this week. So Matt Riddle took his place. The match was fantastic. It was on short notice. It was everything that you expected a match on short notice to be. So they went one-on-one. And we got a match with Survivor Series implications. Damien Priest, Pete Dunne, Killian Dain, triple threat match. The winner of this match would go on to fight, if he's still alive, Adam Cole tomorrow night at the Survivor Series one-on-one for the NXT Championship. I think this might be the first time ever in which the WWE, the Universal Championship, and the NXT Championship are all defended on the same show under the same roof. So that was TakeOver tonight. We got a pre-show match of Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Angel Garza. I did not watch the pre-show because I didn't think we were going to get a pre-show match. So this review will be without a review of that match. But I can see in the notes, and just by what I see on social media, Angel Garza wins against Isaiah Swerve Scott, which is the proper outcome because Angel Garza is still in the midst of a feud with Lio Rush over the Cruiserweight Championship. But we're going to go over everything in full detail about tonight's fantastic TakeOver WarGames show. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me right here on the podcast. This is NXT TakeOver WarGames right here on Off The Script. I am JD. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for tweeting along with me tonight. I'll be doing the same thing, as always, during the Survivor Series. I got my friends still texting me, well, Adam Cole is dead. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And everybody's saying, well, Adam Cole's dead. What about Tommaso Ciampa? He's the one who just came back from neck surgery. Unbelievable. Anyway, follow me on social media, guys. I'll be live tweeting, as always, during the Survivor Series tomorrow night. Make sure you guys check out all the other content that you might have missed that I actually uploaded today. Off The Script went live at 4:30 this afternoon, just a couple of hours before TakeOver WarGames, and it is a doozy, man. You don't want to miss this one. A very heated rant on the rumors of Roman Reigns versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, at WrestleMania, with Roman Reigns handing Bray Wyatt his first loss. I give you guys an inside glimpse as to why it will not work and how crazy the WWE is for thinking that it will be any different with Roman Reigns. Also, Seth Rollins challenged CM Punk comically to a match at WrestleMania. He should be fucking in the circus dressed as Doink the Clown. Seth Rollins, I want challenging CM Punk to a match at WrestleMania. That was today. If you guys missed my part 1 on Friday, we talk about CM Punk on WWE Backstage in full detail. So go and check those 2 videos out along with anything else that you might have missed. Raw, Dynamite, NXT, and SmackDown all week. Everything you need is linked down below in the description of this very video. And make sure you guys go and support the Patreon page. It is there if you guys want to. Show some extra appreciation if you want. Patreon.com/JD206. And today, the podcast is brought to you by my good friends over at Audible. audibletrial.com/Off The Script. They're going to give you guys 30 days free and 1 free audiobook of your choice. The best part is, when you guys sign up, it's absolutely free. Downloading the app is absolutely free. You're going to get 30 days of their service absolutely free. And you're going to choose your 1 free audiobook. If you guys want to support the show, sign up. It's a great way to support the show. If you feel like Audible is not for you, you guys can cancel at any time and still, no questions asked, keep your audiobook for free. Guys, it's a great way to support Audible. It's a great way to support the show. audibletrial.com/Off The Script. NXT TakeOver WarGames started off with the women's WarGames match. And right away, we got a glimpse as to what NXT was planning tonight. We were going to bookend this show with both WarGames matches. The women were going to start it off. The men were going to main event. And then everything in between was going to be sandwiched in the middle. Balor and Riddle. And then the triple threat match with Killian, Dain, Pete Dunne, and Damien Priest. Now, the commentary team tonight put over Dakota Kai as the breakout star in this match. They put her over in regards to her breaking out and showing Rhea Ripley that she always deserved the spot to be in the WarGames match. She was not picked, if you guys remember. Mia Yim was actually picked ahead of her. And then it would give her an opportunity to overcome the losses to Shayna Baszler and the ridicule from Shayna Baszler. So that was the story of Dakota Kai coming on into this match. Now, Mia Yim was actually attacked during the pre-show. She was attacked by an unknown assailant. Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae found her in the women's locker room. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knew who was this mystery assailant who attacked Mia Yim. And a lot of people, even before TakeOver, were kind of pointing the finger at Dakota Kai. She's going to turn heel tonight at some point. Whether she's going to cause Team Ripley to lose, or she would eventually turn heel on NXT TV on Wednesday for not being picked for this particular WarGames match. But she did play it off, and she helped Mia Yim on Wednesday win her ladder match a couple of weeks ago. Now, this was the choice that they made. Dakota Kai was in the cage, and she was acting like the sweet, innocent Dakota Kai that we all come to know and love on NXT. Io Shirai, even though Dakota Kai was played up on commentary as the breakout star and the one to look for in this match, Io Shirai was the fan favorite out of everybody not named Rhea Ripley in this match. Crowd absolutely went crazy for Io Shirai in the introductions before they actually made their way to the ring. Io didn't even go anywhere near the cage. She went right to the ring. She wanted to start this match off because Io is fucking crazy. So, obviously, with Io walking to the ring, Candice was like, you know what, guys? I got this one. So, she followed Io right to the ring, and they were the first two to start the women's WarGames match. Makes sense. Both have had a storied history this year, and they actually have the best women's match, singles match, I should say, in all of WWE for 2019 at TakeOver Toronto. Fists flying, nothing technical at all between these two women at this point. We got 5 minutes before someone else from Team Baszler is going to come in. Remember that Team Baszler's got the one-woman advantage in the WarGames. Candice tried to dive through the ropes into the second ring, and she got caught by a forearm by Io. And then Io delivered 2 619s to Candice LeRae as she was hung up in the ropes. And then in between the two rings, you got that little steel portion of the ring. Io delivered a Meteora to Candice LeRae on the steel. She then walked the ropes on both rings. One set of ropes, and then right to the other, and she jumped onto Candice LeRae with a missile dropkick. Who doesn't love Io? Everybody loves Io. Drop toe hold to Candice on the steel between the two rings, so this was brought into play early, and it wasn't the only time we seen it in this night. Then Io started using the cage as what Mauro called a cheese grater. Candice's face against the steel. She was on the defensive for pretty much all the 5 minutes until the next member of Team Baszler made their way into the ring. One-woman advantage now, and in comes Bianca Belair. Belair slams Candice face first, starts off very hot, followed by a standing shooting star press by Belair. Candice tried to fight back, but Bianca caught her with 2 power bombs. 2 in the ring, and then she threw Candice into the cage for the 3rd. You gotta love Bianca. I don't know how WWE could even fathom fucking this woman up when she goes to the main roster. Absolutely one of my favorites in all of WWE when it comes to the women's division. Now it's double team on Candice. Io ran the ropes at 1,000 miles an hour here. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Gaining that speed, gaining that momentum. Delivered a drop kick to Candice right to the face while she was held in a camel clutch by Bianca Belair. In comes Rhea Ripley. Crowd went crazy. This was her night. She knew that her star was going to shine the brightest out of any other time in her career on this evening. She immediately goes to the ring and under the ring and starts pulling out a trash can. She threw the steel door right in Bianca's face. Bianca tried to stop her. Rhea Ripley said, "No, I'm not done shopping yet." Not done shopping at all. She went right under the ring to get 2 more trash cans, a few kendo sticks, 4 steel chairs, you know, regular day at Lowe's for Rhea Ripley. Crowd was chanting for tables, and then they booed when they obviously did not get what they wanted. Rhea slams Bianca on the trash can immediately. Candice and Rhea set up some chairs to suplex Bianca through. Io saves the day. Bianca comes and takes Rhea out, and Io is back on Candice. In comes Kaylee Ray. She immediately goes for more chairs, which makes it 7 chairs in total. She then teased pulling out a table, and then decided not to, and then the crowd let her have it, obviously booing Kaylee Ray, which was more of a reaction than she got when she actually was announced for the next to come out in this match. So, we had everybody in the ring at this point. She goes to work with a chair on everyone, this Kaylee Ray. Tornado DDT to Rhea Ripley on a steel chair by Kaylee Ray, which looked brutal. Candice was about to superplex Bianca Belair through all those steel chairs that were set up in the ring already. Kaylee Ray took all the chairs, folded them nicely, and threw them away. So, I guess she doesn't want any part of tables or chairs. So there you go with Kaylee Ray. Rhea Ripley then avalanche powerbombs everyone off the top rope onto the chairs that Kaylee Ray folded up beautifully. She set them aside. We got Rhea Ripley powerbombing everyone off the top rope into the chairs, and then Belair off the top rope delivers a 450 to Rhea Ripley. Next member of Rhea's team comes out, and that was supposed to be Dakota Kai. Now, I expected Dakota Kai to be in the match, and then all of a sudden she was possessed by evil spirits, and she absolutely brutalized and destroyed Teagan Nox while in the cage. She decided that, okay, the referee's going to open the cage. She was going to tease coming out, and then she went right to attack Teagan Nox in an absolutely savage beatdown that I have no words to describe. Teagan Nox was physically destroyed. Her legs were peering through the steel cage, the little shark cage, and Dakota Kai unhinged in a psychopathic lunatic fashion takes the door, starts slamming the door on Teagan Nox and her knees, her repaired knees. She started ripping the knee brace off, slammed the door into the knees again. William Regal and officials come out. She goes back to attack Teagan Nox. We got William Regal out there. She shoves and punches William Regal away from this. Absolutely possessed attack by Dakota Kai. It was a thing of beauty. People anticipated this. People predicted it. Whether it was happening tonight or whether it was happening on Wednesday, we got Dakota Kai absolutely becoming unhinged and turning heel. This was fucking beautiful to see. Dakota Kai, you can tell, was getting a little boring. She was getting a little stale. The babyface act was only going to take her so far. And it plays into the story that Dakota Kai was a part of. She felt left out. She felt left out. You didn't pick me over Mia Yim to begin with. You thought Mia Yim was going to do a better job than I did. Mia Yim got hurt, and then I was a last-second replacement. I am not just a last-second replacement. You want to treat me as a last-second replacement? I'm going to try and fuck this match up for you. You all could go kiss my ass. This was absolutely beautiful. So Dakota Kai was ejected from the building. Never mind the fucking match. She didn't enter the match at all. She was ejected from the building by William Regal after her actions. In comes Shayna. It's 4-on-2. She starts laughing. She goes over to Teagan Knox, who's still laying in the shark cage after the attack from Dakota Kai. She's looking in the shark cage. She starts laughing and smiling. Gotta love Shayna Baszler. This is an absolute massacre at this point. Candice tried to fight. No avail. Shayna was handcuffing Rhea, but Candice stopped her from handcuffing Rhea Ripley. Candice used the trash can lid on everyone and anyone that she could. Rhea tried to fight, but it was 4-on-2. Rhea suplexed Kaylee Ray into the cage. Then she climbed the top rope and applied her reverse Scorpion Deathlock. I don't know exactly what it is, but she applied her signature submission move on Io Shirai on the top rope while Io was hanging off the top rope. On the opposite end, Shayna had the Kirifuda clutch on Candice on the top rope. Belair came in and bench pressed Candice into Rhea. Io off the top, moonsault on Candice for the first near fall of the match. Broken up by everyone. Bianca started swinging her hair at Rhea Ripley. Candice swung a kendo stick at Bianca to get some revenge. Io started climbing the cage all the way up to the top. Candice tried to stop her immediately. Kaylee Ray climbs up. Candice, instead of going after Io, needed to take care of Kaylee Ray first and delivered a poison Rana to Kaylee Ray off the top rope. Holy shit. Bianca broke that pinfall attempt up. Io is still up top, crawling on the top of the cage. Candice and Bianca are fighting down below. Candice had Bianca's hair braid, and she didn't want to let go, which looked a little bizarre and a little weird. They just stood there, which was kind of a weird moment as they were waiting for Io to get balance on the top of the cage, and Io fucking delivered a moonsault off the top of the cage onto Bianca and Candice LeRae down below. Rhea, now with a chair across Shayna's back, chairs and trash cans being set up. Kaylee Ray flies out of nowhere and gets a trash can to her face. Shayna seen an opening and got the Kirifuda clutch on Rhea Ripley. Rhea's fighting out desperately, but she's got handcuffs with her, and she handcuffs herself to Shayna Baszler, so she can't apply the Kirifuda clutch anymore. She then delivers her signature Riptide to Shayna Baszler through chairs, and she pins the women's champion and the baby faces who had a 4-on-2 disadvantage win the opening match to War Games. Absolutely unbelievable. Dakota Kai had an unbelievable performance in a heel turn that really didn't shock anybody. It was brilliant. Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae. You want to build superstars. This was the absolutely most perfectly produced and booked War Games match to make two brand new superstars, if they weren't already in some of our eyes. Now they are to a worldwide audience. Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae were made into fucking superstars tonight by not only winning 4-on-2, but the performance that both of those women put on in this match. Absolutely phenomenal. There is absolutely no way you could look at this women's roster and then look at Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live and be okay with how the women are being produced and booked on Monday and Friday nights. It is absolutely inexcusable. I love Sasha Banks and Becky. To some extent, Charlotte. Love Bayley, Asuka, Kairi Sane. Who else is there? Who else is there on the main roster? Nobody. The women of NXT, in every sense of the word, put the main roster women to fucking shame. This was a breakout performance for not only the entire women's evolution, but this was a breakout performance for Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae. Not only is Rhea Ripley going to be the biggest thing in this women's division, She's obviously going on to challenge Shayna Baszler for the title. I don't think there's anybody more perfect right now and has more momentum than Rhea Ripley. I don't think there's anyone that you could possibly think of to take that title off of Shayna Baszler outside of Rhea Ripley. It's amazing. I usually come on here and find something wrong with this. Or something wrong with something that happened here. This was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say the women tonight, before we even talk about the men's match, the women had a better War Games match than the men tonight. And you can quote me on that. The women had a better War Games match than the men did tonight. Quote me on that. This was fucking phenomenal. I loved everything about this. Rhea Ripley and Candice LeRae, I love the fact that they were the two in this match that got the rub, that got the shine, because they are fucking fantastic. Pete Dunne, Damian Priest, Killian, Dain, triple threat match. The winner of this match goes on to fight Adam Cole at the Survivor Series for the NXT Championship. This was my least favorite match on the show. Not to say that it was bad, I just wasn't as invested in what they were trying to do with these three guys as I was everything else on this show. This is Damian Priest's first takeover. Pete Dunne, in this very same arena, beat Tyler Bate in 2017 for the NXT UK Championship in what was the match of the year that year. Still remember it? Fucking incredible match. Dain, I would have to say, out of everybody, it was Killian Dain and Damian Priest that really impressed me the most in this match. And I think they both had breakout performances here in front of their takeover crowd. Dain did a huge running crossbody block, Michinoku driver to Dunne, right into Priest's face. And it was a situation where he did a Michinoku driver to Pete Dunne, but he also sat right on Damian Priest's face. And Damian Priest sold the shit out of it. Even though it was more of a senton or a seated senton on his chest, he was holding his face as if he was in the most dire of pain. I loved it. So, they were on the outside after this, and Killian Dain did a combo fallaway slam Samoan drop on both Damian Priest and Pete Dunne at the same time. So, Dunne was trying to get the crowd into it at this point, trying to make his comeback, trying to fire up the crowd midway through this match, when he ran through a small sequence that pretty much saw Pete Dunne take out Dain and Priest one by one, the way that Pete Dunne usually takes out somebody. So, we got Damian Priest. He's going one-on-one with Pete Dunne at this point, and he takes out Pete Dunne and then gets assisted by taking out Pete Dunne by Killian Dain. So there was a short alliance here by Damian Priest and Pete Dunne. Obviously, that was short-lived. They went right after one another. So, the Chicago crowd, obviously into Pete Dunne. Everybody's into Pete Dunne. I wanted Pete Dunne to win this match. I thought this would have been the right match to go into Survivor Series with Dunne and Adam Cole, if Adam Cole's still alive come tomorrow. So, we were on the floor. Priest lifted Dunne up in a Razor's Edge, and he had very Razor Ramon-esque ring attire. Pants. He came out with a vest that had the little trimmings that Scott Hall used to have on his coat, or the little die insignia that he had on his jacket. Very Scott Hall-esque. So, they're on the outside, and Dunne was lifted up in a Razor's Edge. So, we got Damian Priest Razor's Edging Pete Dunne into the commentary table, Spanish commentary table, but it didn't break. Killian Dain followed up with a Tope Suicida onto Priest to the floor. Then he dove into Priest with a rolling senton and crashed through the barricade that was located right next to the American commentary table. So after the rolling senton by Killian Dain into the barricade, we're back in the ring. Damian Priest lifted Dain into a walking Razor's Edge that was broken up by Pete Dunne. All of a sudden, we shift into another transition. Dunne started to make another comeback, broke up the pin after the Razor's Edge, and then he whipped Damian Priest into the corner. And Damian Priest decided to dive over the top rope, over the steel post, right onto Killian Dain. Pete Dunne was looking at Damian Priest as he did this move like, oh, okay. Okay, I see what you did there, Mr. Priest. You know, if you could do that, I could do one better. So Pete Dunne goes up to the top rope and does his signature moonsault off the top rope, right onto Killian Dain and Damian Priest on the outside. Dunne flipped himself into a cross arm breaker, this time on Priest, who tried breaking the submission with a rope break. And we had the final sequence of this match come into play here, where Priest goes on a tear, lands some spinning roundhouse kicks to both Killian Dain and Pete Dunne. Dunne cracked both Dain and Priest's fingers on the top rope at one point. Then he superplexed Dain, which I didn't think he was going to get, but he fully got him in the rotation of a superplex. Dunne landed the bitter end on Damien Priest for a 2 count. He kicked out of the bitter end. When Dunne put Dain in a sleeper towards the end of the match, Dain used a Samoan drop to shake Dunne off. But since Dain landed on Priest, Dunne shoved Dain out of the way and pinned Priest for the win. So Pete Dunne gets the title shot at Survivor Series. The crowd obviously was very, very much into Pete Dunne. And this one built towards the climax of the match. Again, I wasn't into most of what these guys did. They worked very hard. Damien Priest pulled out some new stuff that we haven't seen from him. I think he'll be near ready eventually. He's really coming to his own under the Damien Priest character, coming over from the name change from Punishment Martinez. Killian Dain is always impressive. I've always thought he was impressive. A big man that size, the way he moves is always impressive to look at. And then Pete Dunne, he's really been stuck in the middle of nothing in NXT, coming over from NXT UK. So him winning this match and getting him right back on track to where he should be, and in a match with Adam Cole, I think should be a dark horse match. That could be match of the night tomorrow night with Adam Cole. So I love that Pete Dunne won, and I think that's the right match with Adam Cole. Again, if he is alive by the end of the evening. So this was very good for what it was, but I really wasn't as invested as I should have been for this triple threat match. Pete Dunne wins. He gets the NXT title match at Survivor Series. Matt Riddle versus Finn Balor. This is the first match that we've seen from Finn Balor in a while, especially as a heel. For some reason, WWE did the crotch shot, even here in NXT with Balor. It wasn't as pronounced as when Kevin Dunn used to do it, but it was still there. This was the first match we've seen from Balor as a heel, so he did his typical entrance, and he played up to the theme music with his arms in the air, but he didn't in any way, shape, or form play up to the crowd and continue doing it when the theme music called for it. He actually posed very subtly and did the Bullet Club hand gesture, and that was pretty much it. He did not play up to the crowd at all like he did as a babyface. He didn't play up to his theme music to play up to the crowd. It was just very all business Finn Balor. That's all it was. So Riddle, at the start of this match, he went right for a quick submission with an armbar. Balor turned that into a pin, and he escaped. Matt Riddle went for a submission again. Balor escaped. And we had a third attempt. And they were pretty much even at this point. But Balor grounded Riddle with a very, very stiff-looking headlock. Riddle escaped with 2 gun-wrench suplexes. Balor back in control quickly with another headlock. Balor threw Riddle to the outside and ran at him with a missile dropkick to the outside. But he hit him with one boot, which was actually pretty fucking stiff. Flush right in the face. Rolls him back in the ring for a 2 count. Balor controls this match, dictated the pace of this match early on. Riddle up, fighting back, rapid-fire strikes, palm strikes to the chest, so much that Balor had some open skin. You could see some bleeding from the chops that Matt Riddle was delivering to Finn Balor. Rapid-fire strikes, kicks, suplex, broton, punt kick, all for a 2 count. Balor kicks out. He tried for a forearm in the corner. Balor got the boots to the face. Balor tried for an overhead kick, the same kick that he delivered to Johnny Gargano that knocked him out during that heel turn. And Riddle caught him with an ankle lock as he went for the overhead kick. Very nice spot. Final flash knee by Matt Riddle. German suplex for a 2 count. Ripcord knee by Matt Riddle. Riddle went for a powerbomb. Balor counters, double stomp, sling blade. Balor went for his hesitation drop kick. Riddle caught him with a spear. One Goldberg move in the can. There you go. So, how many times are they going to troll Bill Goldberg with Matt Riddle's moveset? Matt Riddle has added to his moveset by adding Goldberg's only moves in his moveset. So then he follows up with a bro hammer, his version of the jackhammer, 2 count on Balor. Riddle's going for Bo Derek. Balor reverses it. Countered into a reverse 1916 for a 2 count. Balor frustrated, puts the boots to Riddle. Balor tried for a suplex, but Riddle delivered a bro to sleep. Up top, floating bro off the top by Riddle. Balor got the knees up. He goes for the hesitation dropkick. Balor goes up top after the dropkick. He goes for the coup de grace. Riddle moves out of the way, catches Balor in the bro mission after he misses the coup de grace. Balor somehow rolled out of the bro mission. Balor escaped. Shortly after that, Riddle hits him with the 1916 and beats Matt Riddle with the 1916, and that's the end of the match. Very, very good match. Really, really good stuff. Yeah, they could have went another 10 minutes. Did they need to go another 10 minutes? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This match was great for what it was. This match was a backup plan because Johnny Gargano was not in this match. The match would have went longer and the match would have told more of a story with Balor and Gargano. The fact that Matt Riddle was in this match with Balor, the story there really wasn't all that much, and everybody looked at Matt Riddle. Yeah, we love Matt Riddle, but he was looked at nothing more than a backup plan to the original match with Johnny Gargano. The match did exactly what it needed to do. Matt Riddle looked great. Balor looked fucking fantastic after being away from the ring for so long. I think this might have been his first match since The Fiend, to be quite honest with you. Now, he might have had something in between then and now. I don't think so. But if he did, please let me know down below. But he looked fantastic for being out of in-ring action for a couple of months here. He looked fantastic. He's in great shape. The attitude, the intensity, the NXT version of Balor is back. He looked great. He looked as great as he's ever looked. He looked so much better here than he's ever looked on Monday Night Raw SmackDown Live. This match was exactly what it needed to be. It was a backup plan. I expect these guys to go at it again when there's a little bit more story there. And hopefully Johnny Gargano could come back. And in Portland on February 16th, which is a Sunday, maybe we'll get Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor at TakeOver Portland. I love that they got a TakeOver on its own night, on a Sunday, on a Sunday that really doesn't have anything else going on but TakeOver. It's not being accompanied by another WWE pay-per-view. There's not going to be an AEW pay-per-view that day. They're on their own night doing their own thing. And we all know that TakeOver is not going to be accompanying the Royal Rumble this year, which I actually think is a lot better. I love the fact that NXT is at a point right now where they can go on their own and have stand-alone pay-per-views and they don't need to piggyback off the main roster. This is going to make, I think, our viewing lives easier. It's going to make my recording life easier. I think it's so much better. And I think NXT, most importantly, is at a point where they can stand alone on their own for their own nights. I think it's awesome. This was a great match. This was easily my third favorite match of the night. Obviously, with the two War Games matches being number 1 and number 2. Men's War Games. Men's War Games. Undisputed Era came out first. Keith Lee, Dominik Dijakovic, Tommaso Ciampa. And Tommaso Ciampa was looking very Kratos-like tonight. I think he actually put Kratos to shame. Somewhere Kratos was somewhere, and he was cowering in fear of the Psycho Killer tonight. Who was the mystery partner? Who was the mystery partner? He did not come out at this point, which was smart. Which was smart. Why would you want to waste that pop as you bring out the mystery guy, he gets the pop, and then he just stands in the cage? You might as well just save it for the right time and have him come out last and not present him in the cage. They did the right thing the way that they introduced the mystery Team Ciampa partner. So I love the way that they did that. So we had Ciampa walk to the ring. He wanted to start this match on his own first. He walked to the ring with his signature crutch. Roderick Strong started the match for Undisputed. Ciampa threw his crutch to Strong and told him to use it on him. So Roderick Strong picked up the crutch and then yelled at Ciampa, "You think I need this to beat you?" And then he takes the crutch, throws it over the cage and outside of the ring. So there you go. No crutch involved with Ciampa and Roderick Strong. Back and forth for most of the 5 minutes between Ciampa and Strong. Highlights included corner mount punches by Ciampa. He did the 10 generic punches in the corner where he audibly told Roderick Strong to go fuck yourself with the middle fingers thrown at Roderick Strong, which was great. Strong towards the countdown had a great gut buster on Ciampa. Out comes Kyle O'Reilly. So it's now 2-on-1 against Ciampa. Dissecting Ciampa with his feet. As Strong looked on, did O'Reilly. We had Ciampa in typical fashion, just getting beat down here. Very Undisputed Era-like. Chance for Keith Lee at this point. They wanted Keith Lee. You knew when Keith Lee was going to come out, it was going to be explosive. But not yet, folks. Not yet. Now, you know when he was exploding out of that cage that it was going to be a fucking chaotic scene with Keith Lee. Crowd's going crazy for Keith Lee. Most of this 3 minutes was Ciampa on the defensive for 98% of the time. Out comes Dominik Dijakovic to save the day. He stopped the bleeding just a little bit for his team by taking out both O'Reilly and Strong momentarily. Dijakovic launched O'Reilly on top of Strong with a suplex. He throws Strong into each side of the cage. O'Reilly tried to stop him. He got thrown into the cage. Ciampa at this point is still down. Dijakovic winning here. The 2-on-1 advantage. Ciampa back up. Now it's a 2-on-2 advantage. Bobby Fish is out next, and we're back to the one-man Undisputed Era advantage. He goes right after Ciampa. Then he starts his attack with kicks on Dijakovic. O'Reilly and Fish with the high-low on Dijakovic. Strong with a backbreaker on Ciampa. Then he quickly received a Chasing the Dragon by O'Reilly and Fish. 3-on-1 now with all members of Undisputed Era on Dominik Dijakovic. So, all Undisputed Era at this point. Bobby Fish, like a clown, jumps up on the ropes and starts taunting Keith Lee from the cage, saying, "We run this, Keith Lee." Now, I'm not sure what your mentality is at that point, Mr. Fish, but I don't think taunting Keith Lee from this portion of the match, or in this portion of the match, is such a good idea, knowing that the buzzer's about to go off and that the first guy he probably is going after is you, being that you got a big fucking mouth. In comes Keith Lee, and you knew this was going to be crazy. He fucking leapfrogs both O'Reilly and Fish, delivered a double crossbody to both O'Reilly and Fish. Mauro Ranallo had the line of the night. He was like, "Is this Keith Lee or Bruce Lee?" Absolutely loved it. Unbelievable. Keith Lee went for 3 different spirit bombs at this point. He didn't hit none of them, which was very disappointing to me. 3 different spirit bomb attempts on Undisputed, and they cut him down every single time. Ciampa finally comes back to life, starts fighting off all members of the Undisputed Era, but the numbers are just too much. Dijakovic is up now. He starts helping Ciampa. Lee is up now. Lee with Dijakovic. They both had bad intentions, but Undisputed Era stopped both of them in their tracks. In comes Adam Cole. Now all 4 members of Undisputed Era are in the ring. He goes right under the ring for a table. A table that the crowd in Chicago wanted to see the women use. Now we know why the women didn't use the table, because the men not only used 1 table, they used how many fucking tables? 5 tables in this match. 1 table Adam Cole had pulled out on top of the other 4 was slanted up against the barricade. Now, I don't know when this was going to be used when he was setting it up, but it came into play pretty fucking quickly. All the while, Undisputed Era owns the match while Adam Cole is shopping at Home Depot here, setting up tables, grabbing tables, throwing them in the ring, handing them to Roderick Strong. Maybe there was a sale at Home Depot. Who the fuck knows? Black Friday sale. Who knows? As soon as Adam Cole tried to attempt to get into the ring after he went shopping for some hardwood, Ciampa met him at the door on the stairs, and he shoved Adam Cole off the stairs right through the table that he had set up slanted against the barricade. He went right through the table in what was a nasty fucking bump. His head crashed and hit the back of the table, and I fucking winced in pain for Adam Cole. Ciampa brought him in, closed the door. The match is officially underway at this point. Undisputed Era and Team Ciampa now 4-on-3, blow for blow. War Games is underway. Countdown timer went off. Who was the 4th man? Who was the 4th man? And in what was a very delayed reaction, Kevin Owens, bro, comes out. Huge pop in Chicago. Everybody was like, it's going to be Johnny Mundo. It's going to be John Morrison. Out comes Kevin Owens, which makes sense, because Triple H spoke to Kevin Owens right on Raw. And now, we don't know for sure if Kevin Owens is going to be a part of NXT. If he is, this is a fantastic move for NXT and Kevin Owens. Huge power bomb to Bobby Fish. Neck breaker to O'Reilly. Sleeper suplex to Roderick Strong. Kevin Owens is on a roll. Adam Cole stares down Kevin Owens. Cole did the Undisputed Era hand gesture. Owens tried to do it. I can't do it either. I can't do it either. So he said, you know what? I can't do it. He said, suck it, bitch. And then he delivered a stunner to Adam Cole. Lee and Dijakovic tried to throw Strong over the top. This was nasty. They both took Roderick Strong and tried to launch him over the top rope onto the other members of the Undisputed Era. I don't know what went wrong here, but I don't know if he mistimed the jump over the top rope. They took him, and in what was supposed to be over the top, they threw him through the ropes, and he had a whiplash effect, bouncing off the middle rope into the second ring. It looked nasty, and he went right for his head off the miscue. Unbelievable stuff in a nasty spill. Team Ciampa now setting tables up that Cole brought into play. Keith Lee comes off the top rope, takes everyone out. O'Reilly dove on Lee with a knee drop off the top and into a submission. Dijakovic with a fucking springboard moonsault on O'Reilly to break up that submission. Ciampa hit a fairy tale ending on O'Reilly. Owens comes off the top rope with a senton. Fish with a moonsault to break up the pin by Kevin Owens on Kyle O'Reilly. Unbelievable. Adam Cole broke up Kevin Owens' pin attempt with a super kick to Owens' face. Keith Lee and Adam Cole up top now. Cole knocked Strong off. Strong up top. Strong slam off the top to Keith Lee. Dijakovic with the save. High-low by O'Reilly and Strong on Dijakovic. Owens and Cole are in between the two rings now. And Kevin Owens tried to package pile drive Adam Cole on multiple occasions. He couldn't get it. Cole evaded a package pile driver the best that he could. So Owens fought out, and Adam Cole was back first against the cage. So he decided to jump up the turnbuckles and deliver a fucking Panama Sunrise to Kevin Owens in the steel divider, or on the steel divider that separates the two rings. Holy shit. All you heard was a fucking splat of somebody's body, somebody's head hitting the steel. That's all you heard. At this point, I thought Kevin Owens was fucking dead. He laid motionless, his face completely beat red at this point due to the fucking Panama Sunrise. Unbelievable. So, at this point, after the Panama Sunrise, Undisputed Era now sets tables up side by side. Ciampa evaded danger on the tables with Project Ciampa to Strong. He didn't put Strong through the tables, but he did Project Ciampa to Strong on the ring. Running knees to Fish by Ciampa. Running knees to Strong by Ciampa. Cole tried to stop Ciampa after the Panama Sunrise on Kevin Owens, but he got some knees by Ciampa. Ciampa on a knee spree. Ciampa and Cole now up top. On the top rope, above the tables. They're fighting for control. Ciampa slams Cole into the cage. Cole grabs Ciampa by the beard and slams him face first into the cage. They're both jockeying for position on the top rope. Cole evades Tommaso Ciampa and climbs up to the very top of the cage. He's now crawling on the top of the cage. Dijakovic chokeslams Strong through a table. O'Reilly has a triangle on Dijakovic, but he lifts O'Reilly up and places him on the table to try and get out of this hold. Kevin Owens says, you know what, bro, I got you. Frog splash through O'Reilly with the triangle still applied to Dijakovic. Keith Lee, at the same time, powerbombs Bobby Fish through a table on the opposite end. Cole and Ciampa, you say. What happened to them? Up on the very top, the only two men still standing at this point. And then all of a sudden, we see both men jockeying for position up top, on the top of the cage. Not the turnbuckle, the fucking cage. Crowd chanting, please don't die. At this point, all you see is Ciampa with an air raid crash on Adam Cole. He jumps off the top of the cage, through the two tables down below. This was fucking unbelievable. Crowd shot showed Britt Baker in the crowd. She was absolutely scared for her boyfriend's fucking life at this point. She showed emotion that was shown on camera. They went right to her on purpose. And the air raid crash was shown about 5 different times on instant replay, and in every single instance, it looked that much more devastating. I absolutely feared for both of these guys just being up there, let alone fucking diving through the table. All I was thinking about was Ciampa and him coming back from neck surgery and him going out there and doing that. And then Adam Cole, not only the Panama Sunrise, not only the fucking table spot where he got thrown off the steel steps with the apron through the table on the outside by Ciampa, but Tommaso Ciampa just air raid crashed Adam Cole through 2 tables off the WarGames cage, pinned the NXT champion, and more than likely is going to be set up for an NXT championship match against Adam Cole, possibly in February at TakeOver Portland. Absolutely unbelievable match. The last 10 minutes of this match was fucking animalistic. I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it. Was it the best WarGames match of the night? I don't think so. Not to take anything away from the men. But I gotta give this one to the women. I really do. I just loved everything about that women's WarGames match. I don't even think the men's WarGames match, even though it was fucking fantastic tonight, I don't even think it was better than last year's match. And that's the thing with these WarGames matches. It's going to be very difficult to have the same 4 guys go in there year after year after year. And this is Undisputed Era's match. 3 years in a row. It's very difficult to go in there and do something different every single year. They tried their best. It was a great match. But I don't know how much more Undisputed Era could do. I don't know how much more WWE could really do to differentiate these matches year after year after year. But one thing is for certain, man. That NXT roster, knowing that they have to be at Survivor Series the very next night, they absolutely killed themselves to show you exactly why this is not only the best brand in WWE, this is the best brand in all of the United States when it comes to professional wrestling. This show was fucking fantastic in every sense of the word. There was nothing on this show that made you think, man, I can't wait for this to be over. Or I was bored. I can't wait for this match to be over. Every match delivered something. Everybody on this show stood out. And NXT showed you why they're the #1 brand in all of the United States. As always, which is a surprise to nobody. I love this show. Thank you guys so very much for joining me here tonight. And the one thing, another thing additionally, and finally, the one thing that we are going to see on Wednesday, typically with Wednesday's NXT show following a takeover. You know, usually they do a highlight show. That's when NXT was on the WWE Network. Now they're live at 2 hours on USA Network. We ain't getting no highlight show, man. We're getting an actual follow-up show, a fallout show from WarGames. It's going to be very interesting to see what NXT does as we build now towards TakeOver Portland. This was a great show. If you missed it, go out of your way and watch the carnage that was WarGames tonight. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to get my rest. I got a busy day tomorrow with Survivor Series. I'll be right here after the show is over. I hope it's half as good as what we've seen tonight. Make sure you guys follow me on social media if you guys want to live tweet with me at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Check out all the other videos that you might have missed this week, including this weekend's Off The Script 301, man. You don't want to miss anything. I uploaded part 2 today, just mere hours ago. Go and check it out after you finish watching this show. And I will be back, as always, like I said, with Survivor Series tomorrow night. Guys, hit that thumbs up. Let's try it for 1,500 thumbs up. Let me know what you think of WarGames down below. Who was your MVP of the night? Which WarGames match did you think was the best out of both WarGames matches, the men's or the women's? And again, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Survivor Series. Let's go NXT. It's going to be very interesting to see how everybody tonight fucking operates tomorrow night at the Survivor Series. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for Survivor Series.